It sucks getting sick.
Here at Tattoo Tabletop, we have a lot of fun, so be sure to like, share, subscribe. It's all completely free, and it helps me out. And if you really want to help me out, come join our Patreon. Link is in the description where you can come post and talk about your favorite minis. Now back to the video.
Welcome to Tattoo Tabletop, and first and foremost, let's just acknowledge the elephant in the room. I'm not wearing a backwards hat. I know, it's weird, but here we are. Anyway, as you can kind of probably hear in my voice, and you'll probably hear a few sniffs here and there, I got sick, so unfortunately it resulted in me dropping from the GT. I went and visited it a little bit because I've been on the mend, but at the same point, talking for 12 hours straight, and probably actually 14 hours straight, and then talking for another 8 hours straight after playing games and stuff like that. It was probably not going to be the best recipe for recovery for me. So alas, here we are. So I didn't get to try out my Crew Boys list. It will be tried. There will be another GT. Undoubtedly, again, I still plan on probably building an actual display board for it, so I'm sure there'll be a video about that. But today, what I really wanted to talk about is why I am still here, why I'm still doing this, why I'm still, well, I mean, maybe we can set aside why I'm still making videos, but we can talk about why I'm still playing Warhammer, why I'm still painting Warhammer and all that other stuff. Because recently, there has been a few people who have shared some slightly negative experiences that they had and stuff like that. And so I thought that it might be kind of nice for me to address why I still do it, because I've now been in it for about 6 to 7 years, probably a little more. I mean, we're definitely coming up on almost 10 from where I started. But if we're talking about when I actually started going to tournaments and doing stuff like that, we're probably looking at about 6 or 7. So let's dive into it. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Today's video is sponsored by The Forge for all your hobby nerd needs. Whether it's Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Marvel Crisis Protocol, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Lorcana, and a plethora of board games, The Forge has what you need. The Forge has been my go-to shop, and the inventory has only grown. If there's something you don't see on the shelves, fill out a product request form on their website. Thank you to The Forge for sponsoring this video.
So let's start with, let's go with 3 good reasons, because I thought 3 is a very safe number, and that way the video is not too long, it's not too short, you get your feedback in it, and of course you can always, hop into it later. But starting with number 1, the people. I know this could be a negative for some people because we've all probably had that game where we played against that person you've been playing for however long. Everybody has that game where they play against that person that they just don't enjoy, they're very salty or what have you, and it can really taint the experience. But the problem is some people let that one experience outweigh the many good experiences, or sometimes they have multiple bad experiences, whatever. Setting it aside, one of the reasons I'm still in it is because of people. In the last couple weeks alone, I've had 2 of the absolute best games I've ever had. Like, not best in terms of like my performance, but just the most fun I've ever had playing a game. One of them was the Age of Sigmar game that was on Tabletop Titans with Adrian. I'll put the link down for that in the description because it is such an amazing time. And the main reason it was such an amazing time is not just because it was a good game, but it's because of the person I was playing against. Adrian is such a passionate, awesome member of the community. And you can see it in the videos. That is just Adrian. He's not putting on an act, he's not putting on a performance. He's just genuinely that much fun. And that brought so much joy to my heart. It reminded me why I do this. It was the dice rolls that we celebrated with each other, the dice rolls we lamented with each other. It was incredible. And then on top of that, I had a 40k game recently with another member of the community, Maelstrom Wargaming, Craig, and he's got a video that's coming out for it. I don't know if it'll be out by the time of this, but there's a game coming. I'll share that when it comes up. But we played a nice, fun 40k game, and we played an asymmetric mission, so it was narrative, and we had fun with it, and he brought hordes of Tyranids, and I brought all my Space Wolves, and we just had a blast. And it was a nail-biter. It was so close, but the whole time, neither one of us were getting salty with our rolls. We weren't getting mad at what was happening. We were doing our best and playing our best, but at the end of it, we were both just like, that was awesome, and we both felt incredible, and it's because of the people. The people that you can play against can absolutely make or break this hobby, and it's very important, especially depending on where you play, what army you play, stuff like that. I mean, there's so many people that have absolutely been terrible with other people who have like given people crap, like my friend Tyler. He loves the Custodes. He thought the Custodes were great. He started collecting the Custodes before they were really, really tough and kind of busted for a while, but he got crap for it. And you should never give anyone crap for the army they choose. If they genuinely, truly love that army, just leave them alone. It's not because of the meta. If there are people who pick it because of the meta, then whatever. That's their bag. Thumbs up. I personally collect all of this because I genuinely love these factions. I find myself diving into them, and often while I'm painting them or building them, I'm listening to an audiobook about them. I'm reading up on them. I'm looking up cool color schemes on them. I really engulf myself in the project. But again, looking back to the original point, people. These people are what make this game incredible. This is a social thing, right? We go out in public, we play this against other people. We don't just like hide ourselves into the corner and just like type at somebody just like, I'm moving 7 inches towards that. No, we look each other in the eyes like, okay, so I'm gonna move this unit about 7 inches towards it. It's a social thing, and it's what can absolutely make the game. So for me, something that has absolutely kept me in the game and kept me playing has been the people. Point number 2, travel. I've talked about this before. Travel for the hobby has really changed my perspective on it in its entirety. Before, I would always play in a lot of local tournaments and stuff like that, and I still do here and there. Admittedly, sometimes I'm shooting a video or I'm editing something, and I have a kind of busy job sometimes, so sometimes I don't make it. But I do make it a point to try and travel pretty regularly. I've made the LVO for quite a few times. I made it to Adepticon last year. I plan on making it to Adepticon this next year. I traveled out to visit Tabletop Titans. Like, these travel events have really inspired me and have really kept me gripped into the hobby, because you meet different people. You get really used to playing the people that you do in your community, or just interacting with them. Even if you haven't played a game against them, maybe you just interacted with them regularly. And it's always cool to meet other people from other places and why they love what they love. I mean, I still think back to a game that I had in LVO where I met a guy. We were both 0-2, I want to say. He was playing Grey Knights and I was playing my Space Wolves. And we both kind of brought just fun lists, like nothing terribly competitive, but like we both walked up to the table, and it's game 3 of day 1. So you're already kind of tired, and your TP's just like, dude, it's a thematic battle. Let's go. Like, I was like, my Logan Grimnar versus your Grandmaster in Dread Knight armor. Let's go. And he's just like, bring it on, bud. And we just had a blast. And I wouldn't have had that if I wouldn't have gone to LVO. That was like my first time going to LVO. I traveled essentially by myself. Fortunately, there were some other people from the community that also went, so it was kind of neat to see them at the airport and stuff like that. But for the most part, I was traveling by myself. I was in a hotel by myself. But those travel experiences have stuck with me, and obviously I've traveled to visit Tabletop Titans. I've traveled to visit Vanguard Tactics. I look forward to traveling and interacting with other creators. I hope to maybe next year make it to play on tabletop. I would love to make it to others. This is something that invigorates me and inspires me to keep doing this and to keep making videos for all of you. So of course, if you do enjoy these videos, please like, share, subscribe, all down there, along with my Patreon. Help a brother out. The traveling has absolutely changed my perspective. Now, obviously, I understand that traveling is a privilege. There is a cost associated to that, but let me just say this right now. If you can pick out one event a year, and really just try and budget and save to go either with friends or without friends, do it. I don't know how, like, just do it, because it is going to change your perspective on things. You're going to see cool things. You're going to be inspired. Walking the halls of Adepticon, seeing all the different game systems, seeing the display board, seeing the creativity being brought to this community, into this hobby, it changes the way you look at it, because you're like, that is cool. And that's what got us into this, right? We looked at these models. We had these moments where we looked at this and we're like, wow, this looks cool. And so we bought more, and we paint them, and we create them, and we come up with schemes. This is the inspiration, is what keeps us going. And one of the ways that I get inspired is traveling for the hobby. Number 3, the lore. I know what you're thinking. Well, there's so many books and blah, blah, blah. And like, how do you find time for it? And I'll be honest for you, I don't make it through a ton of books. Right now, I have a massive shelf out by my entryway that has a ton of the hardcover books that have been coming out, because I, number one, just like collecting them. Just, they're cool covers. There are stories that I'm interested in the future, stuff like that. And I had mentioned audiobooks earlier, and that is probably my best way to kind of be getting through the books. Is oftentimes I'll try and get to bed a little bit earlier, brush my teeth, do all that, lay in bed, pop in my AirPods, and listen to at least a chapter, at least a 30-minute chapter. Every once in a while, if I get to the end of that 30-minute chapter, I'm still not quite sleepy, even though I have my eyes closed and the lights are off, I'll listen to another one. Stuff like that. That's how I got through the Siege of Vrax. I listened to it all completely on audiobook. That's how I got through Krieg. I listened to it all through audiobook. And while I was listening to those books, I was often working on my Krieg. I was working on my Astra Militarum stuff. And that immediately inspired me to go and start painting the miniatures and to start actually like building them and like doing different things with them and stuff like that. And it was an inspiration to keep me going with all of that, because it does get you moving. It excites you to do it. I've been watching a lot of Horus Heresy games, so I've been painting some of my Heresy. Now it's more of a passion project, admittedly, for me, but there are times where I can feel it. I can feel it in my chest that at some point I'm just gonna go outside, prime all my Heresy that I have built, and get started. I've been working on the tester schemes. I think I got what I want out of it, and so now I'm feeling inspired to do so. But that feeling, that tangible passion, that tangible excitement, that keeps me going. You don't keep doing something for, even a year plus, unless you do really enjoy something, or unless you feel inspired. You don't see people just sitting down playing Magic the Gathering just because they're just like, oh, new cards came out, I guess I'll just play whatever. Oh, this is it. Like, no, they're usually pretty excited about a new launch. They're excited about building a new deck. They build however many decks. You do the same thing with Warhammer, right? We collect models. We're excited to play them, to paint them up, to put them on the table. We all have different components to it, right? But that's all the same feeling, right? We all feel that feeling of excitement, of inspiration, and we're just jazzed to do it. So it's something that's kept me in the hobby. Is, I'll listen to the audiobooks, I'll participate in the lore, I'll read those short fictions that the Warhammer team posts. I'll look at all the articles and like catch up on some of them, or I'll look at maybe I found a book that came out a long time ago, and I'll just start listening to it, or at least listen to a sample of it and be like, this could be good. And I'll listen to it and it might inspire me, because I do have a lot of projects actively at this moment. I currently have my Sons of Horus, which is probably my one I'm most excited about. I've been working on Leviathan Siege. Just picked up a Dreadclaw drop pod, which is dope. But like, I've been building some of that. I still have been carving through some of my Space Wolves. Most of the stuff that I needed to get painted for these specific games has been done, so that's awesome. I'm really stoked about that, but I can't wait to expand upon that as well. And I'd probably say my Caradron Overlords. I got started on them. I put a pause on them. I am excited to get back into them eventually, but at least for right now, that's where I'm at. And if I do want to find that inspiration, if I'm trying to find that motivation to hop directly into that project, then I'll pop on an audiobook, or I'll look at some paint schemes, or I'll watch some videos on them, maybe battle reports, and it will inspire me to get back into it. So those are my 3 reasons why I am still in the hobby, why I'm still in Warhammer. Obviously the biggest component being the people, and of course people like yourself. The fact that this channel exists, and the fact that you've come and subscribed to it, and that you've checked it out, and that you've watched it, inspires me. It's crazy. I genuinely never thought people would ever care what I had to say about the hobby, or just say, share my message of positivity towards the hobby, because why would we self-sabotage this incredible thing that we're a part of? But it is incredible to see that, and it really does make a huge difference. So thank you very much. Again, if you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe. Again, I have my Patreon down in the link down below. Come join it. I have a $1 tier that gets you access to a Discord where you can post in a lot of the general channels. $5 one that would get you access to all the channels. And then it goes up from there, and you get some behind the scenes content and everything. I'm really looking to try and grow that. But again, thank you every single one of you. And of course, in my case, at least as of the time of recording of this video, thank you, Vicorian Brady. He is one of my shop owners. He is at the topmost tier. Thank you very much. I massively appreciate it. But until next time, I hope this video has inspired you, has pushed you forward, and that we go paint something.